What's going on, everybody? It's Elon from Inside Fighting. You're in for, I always say you're in for a treat. This time you're legitimately in for a huge treat.
Thank you.
Here with Joey from Kombat Arts Combat Academy?
The Kombat Arts Training Academy.
Kombat Arts Training Academy. I just want to say right off the bat,
Yeah.
we've moved around a little bit. You've told me about your philosophy in training. And this is the most arguably reality-based school I've trained at. Everything here is about, does the guy have a firearm? Does the guy have a knife? But coming from a combat sports mentality, which is so rare, so amazing. So guys, like I said, this one's gonna be amazing. Stay tuned.
Pow, pow. Inside fighting, yeah. Dangerous martial arts. Pow, pow. Ooh, ah.
As you guys know, I've suffered from autoimmune disease. I've suffered from severe injuries. I was told I'd never walk again. That's what led me and my buddy on this journey to create a wonderful functional collagen for men, for athletes. If you're doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, if you're running, if you're into any martial art, it's crazy to not be using this. It really helps support your bones, your joints, and your connective tissue. I always explain that what's important is the amino acid profile, which you need large amounts of glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, and you need a low molecular weight so your body can use it. I've become an expert at this stuff. It's made a tremendous difference in my own body, and it's made a tremendous difference for every single person who's using it now. Nomanlabs.com is the company. It's called Noman, like K-N-O-W, knowing man. So nomanlabs.com. Check it out. Let me know what you think.
Hey guys, my name is Joey De Los Reyes. I'm one of the owners of the Kombat Arts Training Academy, and I'm the founder of the Academy too. So this Academy is 25 years old. It's been around for quite a long time. And so when I first started this Academy, I was a little bit selfish. I wanted to train with amazing people in amazing martial arts. So I wanted all these arts under one roof. So currently right now we're teaching boxing, Muay Thai, Savate Boxe Français, Karate, Wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the Filipino martial arts, Jeet Kune Do, Krav Maga, and IDS, which is Integrative Defense Strategies, which is basically pistolcraft with combatives. And we have separate classes for the most parts for all of that.
Guys, if you're in Toronto and you don't come to this place, you're crazy. You're lunatics, and I have no respect for you.
Yeah, so and one of the reasons why, I grew up in an area where self-defense is very important to me.
Yeah.
I did some competitive stuff and everything. Arguably, I was good or bad at it. But my main heart is self-defense. So my self-defense philosophy and why I want to train in all these martial arts is that basically I want to be able to defend myself in kicking range, punching range, clinch range, and grappling range, with or without weapons, against one or many opponents. And for myself, I don't really find there's one particular martial art that has a monopoly on all of it. Yeah. All right, and nothing that pretty much owns it. There are some martial arts that come close, but I don't really subscribe to those training methodologies. They don't really work well for me. For example, like the Filipino martial arts, I love the Filipino martial arts. I teach it. I like training in it. But for example, for me, I don't really like those training methods for myself. And what I mean by that is that I find for myself, a lot of the training is kind of scripted and cooperative. So there's a lot of patterns involved in it. So for example, if you have a blade there, and typically speaking, we just feel like number one here, number two here, number three, and he can do whatever he wants. You know, I love him. He's got a great martial arts background, so he can do whatever he wishes. Now, right now, he's probably thinking about his grocery list. He's switched off. He could do this ad nauseum in his sleep, right? And we could do that all the time, but are we actually bringing him closer to a real fight? We're not. So how can I make this challenging for him? We start getting a little bit uncooperative and a little bit unscripted. And so I look at scalability. That's the most important thing for me. So I can now start mixing it up a little bit, and now we start getting a little bit chaotic. Now I'm not trying to kill him. I want him to still win, but you can tell here now it's getting a little bit more chaotic. I'm mixing it up. How could I actually make this harder for him? I could add timing elements. So I like to add some fakes now. Right, and he's being nice. He's not killing me here, he's not hitting me, but we can see those shots coming in. Now we could add this, because I find a lot of the techniques are only done right-handed. We're only stuck with the right hand. We never actually do any left-handed stuff. What about the live hand? We always hear about the stuff in the live hand of the Filipino martial arts. Now I'm trying to actually make it a little bit harder for him. So this is what I mean by taking that training to where it's unscripted and uncooperative. Yeah. Right? And I like that. I subscribe to that training method. So for all these martial arts, I try to pick martial arts that suit me, that cover all these ranges. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No,
yeah.
It makes total sense. It's how martial arts should be trained.
Right.
And the more stress you can give me, the better.
Right, right.
So I would imagine the intensity on that goes up
Yeah,
tremendously.
we could scale it up higher, and I could talk about it in a few seconds. So like, when we look at like basically, what techniques do I use? What techniques do I take from these martial arts? So it's contextual.
Yeah.
All right. So I acquiesce to the fact that people take martial arts for different reasons.
Yeah.
Cultural, art, sport, or what have you. But how do you know that this stuff works for you specifically for self-defense? All right. And like, for example, if you could do an amazing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu sweep and you avoid most of the punches, that technique works for you. If you're a Filipino martial arts master and 7 or 8 times out of 10, you're able to get that strip, then somewhere that's in your toolbox. But how do you know? How do you actually know that this technique works for you?
Yeah.
All right. And so for us, we got to actually stress it a little bit. We pressure test it. Now, pressure testing has to be scalable. That's the one big thing I have here, because the problem is that we want to get as close as possible to the real fight, the real situation, but there's also safety involved. We can't really actually eye gouge each other, grab his testicles and pull it off, use a real gun or a real knife, right? Some of the stuff that we do from sport can actually get us in trouble. All right, so for example, like, let's look at double underhooks.
Yeah, okay.
For grappling, right? So if I persist in always getting double underhooks, because maybe that's my favorite takedown, and I've been doing that all the time with great success from a sporting aspect, what about if one day I do that, because I've been trained to do that, it's muscle memories from sport and stuff like that, and I'm doing this technique and he's grabbing that knife. Exactly. Great technique from a sporting aspect. I've had great success in it. But is it contextual from a self-defense situation? I'm not watching his hands. And in self-defense, we always have to expect a weapon. We have to be aware of that kind of stuff.
So when we were moving around, this is a great note. I'm big on overhooks. Like, I use overhooks all the time, and I grab the far arm to control, and whatever feed it may be damaged. But look at this, where his hand is right now. And if I had a firearm over here, or he had a knife, that's still, remember when I had the firearm and you're like, I can grab your right hip. I never even thought about that. Like, I might hold somebody here. He could just reach, grab my firearm, and I wouldn't even notice necessarily that now my gun is in his hand.
Yeah, exactly. So like, that brings up a good point too. So like, I'm just wearing this open carry for today. Actually, I don't walk around with shorts and open carry holster like this. It's just basically for training purposes.
He's lying. He's lying. I bumped into him at a Costco, and he was walking around just like this.
But again, for contextual purposes, let's suppose it's your job to carry a firearm. You're allowed to carry a concealed carry or what have you, good for you, or everyday carry that everyone talks about, right? If you're able to carry a weapon and you carry a weapon with you every day, how is that integrated into your martial arts tools? So for example, I could come on here and I could do some kind of like underhook position. I can control here. Look at my body language here. Look how I am. If I come too close to him, maybe to get some kind of takedown, I give him my firearm. All right. If my position's over here instead, right, he can now access my firearm.
Yeah.
So now contextually, I have to now change this. I have to modify this kind of stuff. So again, I'm not saying Greco-Roman wrestling is bad, but how do I change this where I have kind of like a looser underhook? I'm out here like this, head control and stuff like that, and I'm away from him. So I want to conceal and retain my firearm as much as possible. And depending on what he does, if he goes for like a headlock, for example, I can brush him off, and then I can start axing my tool if I'm legally able to do that in the first place, which we miss a lot in self-defense. The legal aspect of it, do we actually train that in there too?
Yeah, so I noticed like you'll even just do live grappling from like here and see if the guy can. And so like if we start moving around now, his entire goal is going to be to control me without letting me get to his firearm.
Right. So I need to shift off.
Yeah, now I'm going to actively be trying to reach for it.
Right.
And now it's an actual, like you said, right? Now we're actually fighting, and he got away, and then he has his firearm that he can draw.
Exactly. Right. And so like if you carry tools like that, right, are you actually practicing your martial arts with all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, there's explosive loud noises.
All right. Ideally, yeah, see, he's grabbing my belt here, and he's got good head position. All right, if I try to go for that headlock, he's gonna push it off with his left hand.
No, put your headlock off.
And now he's got that distance. Beautiful. Good. And if you can legally pull out that firearm, or he can disengage, what have you.
So one more time, you go for the headlock. I'm just already driving.
Nice.
Boom, whatever
Again,
it
you
is.
got that trapping, right?
Yeah.
So now we're looking at the physical attribute, the application of a trap.
Yeah, so this comes in from Filipino martial arts.
Yes, exactly.
I'm in control for a second.
Right, so we're actually using our Filipino martial arts for trapping or JKD trapping, okay? Now, let's suppose here again, I don't give him that kind of energy. I'm not going for the headlock or whatever. He's gonna bridge aggressively right across my throat and step across over there. Yes, nice, boom, beautiful. Notice how he monitors my right hand all the time. All right, so here, as he does a bridge, he monitors my hands all the time. Good, so I can't get a hold of his firearm, and he can do whatever technique he wants, exactly. Arm drag, he can knee, punch, what have you. Overhook,
Yeah.
your favorite.
My favorite is the overhook.
So here, I'll do it. So here in this case, sorry,
Okay.
I get an overhook of some sorts, right? So I want to get this arm in front of me. So all I'm gonna do is bend back a bit. I'm now in this position here.
I love that.
Okay, and now I'm gonna, if I have to, I can just push them off and escape.
Yeah.
If I need to, if it necessitates it, I'm legally able to do it, I'm gonna make that switch.
2-on-1 is one of my favorite positions
Such a great control.
for
Yeah.
control, especially of weapons.
Yes, exactly.
Very underestimated how dangerous this just is.
Yes. So
if
now,
you fully commit to just.
So here, let's do it here from your perspective.
I have the overhook now.
Yeah, he's got the overhook, and so now
You're essentially just clearing.
yeah, exactly. Now he's got that 2-on-1. Beautiful, beautiful. God, awesome. Now he gets pushed
now
away.
you're saying here.
Yes, that's it. And he's always running away from my other hands.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's a possibility from the overhook position. Let's try it again. Nice.
Draw it down even a little
Yes,
bit pressure.
exactly. Beautiful. Good. And we have a fourth one. The fourth one, again from the overhook. All right, he's not allowing me, obviously, because people resist, of bringing that arm across the body right here. So I'm gonna grab the back of the head. And they step across.
Yeah. Let's just make sure we got that one on camera. I'll move back. I like that one.
So this position here again, I'm not able to get that 2-on-1. I'm not able to get his arm across my body. So I'm gonna reach up here like this, and I pull him this way into my armpit area as I step across there. Notice I'm not letting go of the hand at all. So I'm making it dangerous stepping across, and I can't afford him to do stuff like this, right?
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah, so here, we're back to this position. I step across like that.
There's no way I can get to it. You're widening out my
and
arm.
then go back. So like, again, contextually, right? If this is your thing where you can do an EDC of some kind of sort, how are you incorporating that into your martial arts self-defense aspect? Example, what's one Muay Thai thing and giving me problems? If I'm not able to break his posture, now he has my tool belt. Yes, exactly.
One more time from the other side.
Yeah, so here.
So he steps into
Yeah,
clinch.
so here I'm stepping in. All right, he's got good posture, and now he's on my tool belt. All right, so again, contextual is what we're looking for, right? Can you actually apply your given martial arts techniques in a self-defense situation? And it's purely individual, guys. All right, it depends on your body type, athleticism, if you're carrying yes or no, if you have a family or playing a bodyguard role, etc.
Can I tell you something I've done with clinching?
Oh, here's my wrestling coach.
Oh, really?
That's my wrestling coach. Nightmare, man.
Yeah, he looks like
Yeah,
a nightmare.
dude.
Looks like he would launch me.
Nightmare, yeah.
Something I've done with my clinching that helped me with in terms of knife retention. Like I said, I don't train enough with my firearm, but anytime I get to any kind of clinch whatsoever, I'm thinking of hands on the ground from the clinch position, meaning I'm never doing it to hold you and knee you.
Right.
I'm doing it to roll you and bring you.
Yes.
See how you're instant
Yes.
now?
Yes.
I'm not worried about you getting to my firearm.
Right.
And this grip on the neck, if I grab your pants and I drag you
Right,
down,
right.
is very powerful, I've learned.
I think that's amazing because like there's two things I see there. Number one, because I'm afraid about putting my face into the concrete, I am putting my hands on the ground. So that's off your weapons, off me accessing any
Yes.
weapons, right? Secondly, two, balance is the relationship between the ears and the hips, right? Usually I walk with my ears over my hips, and we've always done that where we hit the sidewalk, and all of a sudden our ears go over our hips, and now we're off balance. Every throw we do, every sweep we do is predicated on taking ears offline of the hips. So once that happens to me, I definitely off balance. Now, there's some people who can mitigate that, Cirque du Soleil people, martial arts, gymnastics people, but to what degree can you actually mitigate that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost from any position you can break posture on someone and crank them down. You're right. There's Cirque du Soleil people.
Yeah. Like there are these,
Hopefully, you're not fighting a gym.
Yeah, you're in trouble then. And also too, like let's take an example of grappling, right? So like here, if for the sake of discussion here, he doesn't have a duty belt on, right? I'm the only one that has
I'll take it
a
off.
firearm just for training. And so we get into this. Are we on? Yeah.
Yeah.
We get into this kind of guard position, and I can't really stay front on right here. All right, because again, it affords him the ability to get onto my weapon, and it's harder for me now to retain it. Now, so for those people that want to carry a weapon, and hopefully you're also doing martial arts, ideally I want to conceal and retain my weapon as much as possible, staying on my side. So here I'm able to keep some kind of knee shield. I'm able to play with his balance, maybe his posture.
Yeah.
And again, going back to MMA stuff, you should be practicing from this position, different strikes. All right, you being able to block and deal with that kind of stuff, and hopefully getting some kind of sweep and getting back up, right? But the most important thing is I have to be able to retain this firearm, because heaven forbid, if I'm grappling around and he actually accesses that tool, now my problems are dramatically compounded. So this is why, like, for myself, I like to train, like when I train my martial arts, I'm training with the respect of like, can I fight in all 4 ranges with or without weapons, whether, I'm carrying or you're carrying or whatever, against one or multiple opponents. All right. Contextually too, when I check out these different martial arts, what can I take from myself that I can apply for self-defense? All right. And I think it's individual for everybody, right? Like that's the thing I love about you. You've approached Filipino martial arts from a very distinct manner. How do you know if this stuff works for you? For me, you actually have to go there and pressure test it. You have to actually apply it. It's akin to basically playing soccer. I could have an empty net and practice scoring an empty net.
Yeah.
I could take a ball and try to maneuver it around the cones. Will I have the confidence to go out there and play a full game in reality? Probably not. Now, how can I scale that up? I can put someone in the net to actually stop my shots. I can have some people in the field that actually interrupt me or try to take the ball away from me. So now I'm getting closer to reality. And then we put those games together and I'm getting a better picture. And I get to glean from myself what works for me. The next thing too, I'm working on the skill of adaptability, which we talked about is basically for me, skill is the ability to like actually apply your martial arts skills, your techniques, your tactics, your knowledge, your experience in an ever-changing chaotic situation. That to me is what skill is. There's some people skillful at hitting the focus mitts, but are they actually skillful at applying those skills in an ever-changing,
or in
an
reality
ever-changing
on the
situation?
street?
And like, let's look at this way, right? If you're fighting in the UFC, right, and your cross looks like this, all right, and your right foot comes off the ground, and it hits the guy, and the guy gets knocked out. It's not like I'm gonna come up to you and say, you're the champion, but it wasn't really a good cross, so I'm gonna take your belt away from you.
Yeah, that's Duplessis. You look at Duplessis, everyone laughs at him.
Yeah.
I mean, he did lose to Kamzat, but the reality is he beat up a lot of the top fighters in the world, literally with 1 foot off the ground, flying through the air.
And so for myself, it's like, you get to a point where in martial arts, we want to look pretty, it's perfect technique, and all of these cooperative drills.
Yeah.
Everything's symmetrical, everything looks nice and pretty and stuff like that. But you know better than I do that it's chaotic. Fights never ever look like that.
I don't care how a fighter looks, I care how they perform. And I don't think martial arts needs to look good, it needs to be effective.
Yeah, it's goal-oriented training. Like, what's the goal? I want to go home.
I know jiu-jitsu guys where they're inverting, rolling all over me.
Right.
If you come and attack me, they're like flipping all over the place.
Yes.
They're like over here, rolling around, triangle choke.
This guy's like beating you, he's stabbing you like a piñata, all right? He's doing acupuncture on you, and you're getting killed.
Yeah, and those guys also, the second there's a guy who can just take him, pin him down, crush him, slow game, fundamentals, their game goes out the window.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, okay, so your jiu-jitsu is so slick and dynamic, but you don't even have the fundamentals in place to prevent the fundamentals.
Right. But not only that too, like fundamentals is one thing. It's like, how can you apply those fundamentals under stress
and chaos,
and be able to adapt? All right, because we want to learn everything as much as possible. Unfortunately, we can't. You may only have a limited tools, like 5 tools. If you got into a fight with 5 tools, sucks for you. But how are you going to apply those 5 tools in that fight to get home safely? That's the game that I want to play. If I'm only stuck with learning 5 tools, then I better be learning the skill of adaptability to get home.
So when I'm teaching jiu-jitsu for self-defense, I teach like almost 3 basic guards, and they literally look like this.
Yes.
Right?
Nice.
Like here, where I'm either controlling like this with an overhook, and again, you can't get to my firearm.
Nope.
Everything you said.
Look here, guys. It's concealed and it's retained. All right. If he was wearing a shirt over it, I probably wouldn't even know it's there.
Yeah.
Right. That's the most important thing. And there's no reason for him to go for it because in this particular circumstance, he seems to be in control of the situation. His life is not at risk. Why would he go for his firearm?
No, I can get back up when I want to from here.
Right. And that's another thing that people forget is the legal aspect of training. Why would he go for his firearm?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Right there, I wouldn't. I feel like there you can't hit me. You can't get to your own weapon. Even if you have a firearm and I'm over here, you're not getting to your weapon here.
I can feel I'm gonna go this way. My base, basically a table. I have no base here and I have no base here. I'm definitely gonna go over.
Just pinning.
Yes.
You're gonna go right down. You're not getting to it.
Right.
I mean, I could break your arm right here if I want. And I think that a lot of people, like you said, how many jiu-jitsu guys? That's not pretty jiu-jitsu.
No.
That's not jiu-jitsu that'll win you a tournament.
That's probably basic jiu-jitsu. It's basic jiu-jitsu, guys.
The last time that kind of guard was heavily used in sport jiu-jitsu was by a guy called Koji Komuro, and he nicknamed it the com lock, this exact position.
Right.
And he would tap everyone with it. He'd
Yeah.
fall to the ground, he'd crank, roll up, you'd feel his roll,
Yep.
and he would take his knee and just
I
drive.
can feel it. That's really, really good. So that's essentially like my self-defense philosophy, right? I want to study all of these martial arts like a buffet.
Yeah.
I take contextually what works for me, depending on my lifestyle. Okay, if you happen to carry and stuff like that, or you have people to protect, then you need to take that into account when you practice your martial arts, right? You need to figure out if this stuff actually works for you, and the way I do it is some kind of pressure testing of some sort. The next thing too, I failed to mention way at the beginning, is that people have a tendency to train these martial arts separately.
Yeah,
Like
big mistake.
silos,
I
right?
talk about this, yeah.
And so like, like I do a little bit of Muay Thai, I do a little bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I do a little bit of wrestling and Filipino martial arts. And hopefully when I get into a real situation, I'm gonna put everything together.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
No.
All right? And I always believe in that phrase, skills that fire together, wire together. That's really, really important, right? And if you look at the old school MMA, you're close to my age, old school MMA, you see guys that are a little bit of striking, some jiu-jitsu, maybe 1 or 2 takedowns, and you can see it was fragmented, it was disjointed. And now we look at modern day MMA guys, it's
much more seamless.
It's an art in itself, seamless.
So I always say fights are won in transitions, which is like if two guys are very high level, it's the moment in between.
Especially in
positions. Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
MMA also, it's like the scrambles. It's those areas where guys like Khabib or guys like Islam or even in the striking, like if we're just striking each other chaotically, it's, just start swinging at me, right?
Yeah.
Some guys will be able to just find boom, there, and then they catch you
that
on
broken rhythm.
Yes, and they can see in the chaos that little transitional opening in between your strike, catch you, boom, and then they're just a little bit tighter and a little bit cleaner. This is exactly the way I think people should train. It's very rare to find someone who likes to incorporate combat sports and combatives.
Yeah.
I've opened my eyes to a lot of things with firearms. It's just, the few times we've met up has made me change the way I perceive certain positions, especially the underhook.
Yes.
One of the biggest things, and I'll just raise the camera, one of the biggest things, the arm drag, one of the biggest things that I picked up from you with the arm drag and from Marek over here. I don't know if you want to come in for a cameo, but the arm drag that you guys do on each other. By the way, you guys have seen Marek on the channel, super badass. But Marek and Joey, the way they do arm drags is a little bit different. They won't go under for him to be able to reach the firearm. He goes over top. Yes, you see how the firearm is not exposed? How many people who wrestle, one more time, like how many people who wrestle show the wrong way and go for the firearm? Yep. If we can do it live?
Sure.
Guys, if you're not drilling like this, you won't learn this. You won't be aware of it. I was not aware of it. Like, I arm drag.
There you go.
Look, the gun is in Joey's hand right now. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's in Joey's control. Versus the other way of doing it, there's no way to reach the firearm even if he's actively going for it. That little change makes literally the difference of life and death.
Yes.
But if you're wrestling all the time and we're here, I'm doing this.
Right. Exactly.
That's how I know how to arm drag. I've never in my life, you're coming here and doing this, or even like that, It's such a weird difference.
It is.
And in Filipino martial arts, you do see this.
Right, exactly. And it's like, again, like, I'm not quick to discard drills and techniques, guys. I'm not saying that. It's when and where will we use those particular things.
Because with knives, I'm always doing this with knives.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. When would you use this kind of stuff? And we only know that is a good technique is because someone is carrying a firearm, right? That's the validity of that technique.
You know
how
what?
do you know this stuff works? Stress training. You got to train under stress.
Arm drag me with the knife? If you don't do the arm drag properly, you'll get cut.
Yes.
If you do, you won't.
Yes.
Yeah, there.
Exactly. And that's why, guys, it's totally contextual, right? It does matter because for me, I want to be able to also defend against weapons. In a self-defense situation, you have to expect weapons to be out there. You have to modify your techniques to suit that kind of stuff.
One question, because I have a saying, I say train empty hand the way you would train weapons because you're not going to make the distinction in reality. Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that too, right?
Okay, sweet.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, man. Yeah, this is a great place to train, guys. Come over here if you're in Toronto, seriously.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Pleasure meeting you.
Anything else you want to...
No, I hope to see you guys, and I can't wait to take this guy back out for dinner and get him like nice and thick.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.